Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Hall Pass channel. My name is Rich Hall and I'd like to thank you for watching this video in advance. Guys, look, I'm going to just jump right into it. The title of the video is pretty self-explanatory. We're going to talk very quickly about iPhone's XS Max. Now, here's a disclaimer. I'm not a tech review guy. This is not a tech review channel. I will talk a little bit about anything and everything, but the reason why I wanted to make this video, number one, is for a couple of reasons. I recently upgraded as of about 2 weeks ago from an iPhone 7 Plus with 128 gigs of memory to the XS Max in the 256 configuration. So a pretty significant upgrade. Now, again, I'm not a tech guru, I'm not a tech reviewer, so you're not going to get, Geekbench results. You're not going to get, pixel density type, conversations in this video. The reason why I'm making it, number one, is because I'm pretty excited about the phone. Last year when the 10 came out, I was very reluctant, actually not even reluctant, I had no desire to even consider an upgrade from the 7 Plus. One, I didn't feel that the 8 or 8 Plus was worth an upgrade. I felt like that there was a couple of minor upgrades, wireless charging, glass on the back, not enough to make me make the jump. And the thing with the 10, for me personally, was that when I would look at it, I'd go to the store and I'd see it and mess around with it or whatnot. It felt very premium and it looked great, but I just can't get over how it felt in my hand. It was just a little too small for my taste. Obviously, the screen real estate was technically more than the 7 Plus, but just the actual feel of the phone, it just didn't feel right. So I didn't even consider it. And then comes the XS and XS Max, right? I see a XS Max in the wild and I think, man, that phone looks really good. So I did some research, went to YouTube, went to some forums, and even though that there were good, bad, and indifferent reviews on this phone along with the XS, I actually just made the decision to do an upgrade. So I've had this phone for 2 weeks. And a couple of things specifically that I want to touch on real quickly is one thing that I think a lot of people are talking about, because there seems to be several folks that have issues with the connectivity piece of it, right? Me personally, now I'm on 12.0.1 iOS. I upgraded to, the most recent software. Knock on wood, but for the last 2 weeks, I've not had any issues with this phone at all. As a matter of fact, there were locations. Now, keep in mind, I am a Sprint customer, okay? I've been a Sprint customer for 19 years. Before you roast me in the comments or ask me why or tell me I'm stupid, here's the deal. I live in Middle Tennessee. I live close to Nashville, and where I live, Sprint works. It just works. Literally everywhere that I go, I don't have any issues with drop calls or anything of that. Well, let me retract that. 99.8% of the places that I go, I don't have any issues with drop calls and things of that nature. There are a couple of locations specifically where I would go, and historically from the iPhone 4 all through my upgrades up until the 7 Plus, which was the 5 and the 6 and the 7 Plus. I think I even had a 5S in there as well. There are a couple of spots in and around North Nashville and in Nashville specifically where the phone would work. I could pick up the phone and call someone. I could send a text, but 9 times out of 10, it would actually go through as a text message, not an iMessage. And then, of course, the apps wouldn't work, and I definitely couldn't get on the internet via Safari. So again, and I think that is 100% a Sprint issue. When I upgraded to the XS Max, because of some of the things that I had read, some of the things that I'd seen on YouTube and what have you about connectivity issues, I wanted to go to these locations specifically and sit down and just test to see how this phone would perform. And quite frankly and surprisingly, this phone blew away my expectations. Not only have I not had any connectivity issues, but the locations that historically, Sprint or my other iPhones just quite frankly wouldn't work to the fullest extent, this phone is working. I'll even take it a step further, and I do travel some for my job. Now, I have a Verizon issued phone, which Verizon covers like every inch of the universe, it seems like, from a connection perspective. But there are places that I go in rural, like South Central Kentucky, where historically, again, outside of making a phone call, piggybacking off of another, carrier's tower, my phone wouldn't work. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that even in extended LTE or even in 3G, the XS Max works and works very, very well through the Sprint network. So I just wanted to throw this out there that, guys, look, if you have a 5, an SE, a 6, a 6S, a 7 Plus, now I can't really speak to the 8 or the 10. I would say that if you're looking for more real estate on your screen, then even if you have an 8, it's probably worth the upgrade. Now, for those of you folks that have an iPhone 10, honestly, I would say the deciding factor would be that you simply just want a bigger phone without taking a step back in performance or taking a step back in screen display from the OLED perspective. If that's the reason for an upgrade and you've got the money, do it. I mean, quite frankly, your trade-in value is probably worth several $100s at this point, so you can probably get a really good deal regardless of what courier you use. So look, but the bottom line, guys, is that I've had nothing but a fantastic experience with this XS Max. If I had it to do over, if I was faced with the exact same decision today, I would make that decision without question. Now, I actually got the Space Gray phone in 256 gig capacity. My wife upgraded from an iPhone 7 Plus in the rose gold to the XS Max 256 gig in gold. And I'm not a fan of gold phones at all, but I gotta tell you, I kind of dig the gold version of this XS Max, man. It's unlike anything I've ever seen as far as the color is concerned. But guys, look, again, I just wanted to let you know that my experience over the last 2 weeks with this phone has been fantastic. The upgrade was worth it. The screen is unbelievably awesome. It's so vibrant and things just pop off the screen, at least in my opinion. That alone, outside of the speed of the phone, the feel of it, it is so premium in your hands. And of course, I'm not a case guy, but because of the cost of this phone, I actually did put a case on it. I'll show it to you here real quickly. I got, and I don't know if it's pronounced Spigen, but I got it off of Amazon, and as you can see, it really doesn't add hardly any bulk to the phone at all. And I'm not reviewing this case. I haven't dropped it yet, thank God, but it covers and protects the camera very well. It's got enough of a bump on the screen to protect the screen. Also put a screen protector on the phone just because I'm not going to spend this much money on a phone and not protect it. But ultimately, guys, I mean, the build of the phone, the way it feels, everything about this phone is without question, in my mind, worth the upgrade unless you already have a 10 and you have no desire to upgrade for screen real estate purposes. Listen, I hope this video helped, okay? I hope it cleared up a little bit of maybe confusion about the connectivity issues. And for another side note, I've not had any issues with Wi-Fi either. My phone hasn't dropped any Wi-Fi connections or had trouble connecting to Wi-Fi connections. So far, knock on wood, this phone has been everything that I have asked and wanted it to be. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions at all, let me know. But I really appreciate you watching this video. And again, my name is Rich Hall, and this is the Hall Pass channel, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.